28 years later is out now. Leaving the theater today, I don't think I've ever felt so conflicted about a movie. Really thinking to myself, was it good? Was it bad? Or did you really need to just think about where it was going to go in the future? Now, this is the third installment of this series, and I believe our first since 2007. And with this movie, you are getting a lot of storytelling. You're getting a lot of anger in a sense. You're getting to see the infected that have from the virus, but you're really getting to see a complex relationship between a father and a son, but also the wonders and the direction of the world outside of the isolated island. Now, before we go any further, this will not be any specific spoilers or anything like that as usual, because I don't want to kind of ruin things, but there will be some things that I talk about that may give it away to some people, and for that, I apologize. Now, with this film, it all centers around a father and son who leave the island on his son's first adventure. And in doing so, he is trying to seek his first kill of the infected. But on this journey, they are going to face challenges. But also, Spike is the son's name, is exposed to new things in the world outside of the island. But what comes from that is a weird direction once he returns. And if you go see the movie, you will understand what I mean by that. Now, with the actor that plays Spike, I believe it's Alfie Williams. I'm not sure of the last name. I could be wrong on that. He did an excellent job basically taking over the lead of this movie. But I will say, even though he did such a good job, I still found his character annoying, and I really kind of grew to hate him. Now, I get it. He's playing a young son, and he has to act that specific way. But for me, it was kind of annoying. But that's not going to affect my overall rating. What really set this movie up was that journey and really seeing where is it going to go. Now, going into this, I understood that there was going to be a sequel to this movie. There were already talks about it, and I believe what I've read have even seen that it's already been filmed. And so if that is true or not, I am not 100% sure. So that is definitely something that I will look into and kind of see where that goes. But the way that this whole thing plays out, I think there has to be another part, even regardless of whatever happens or will happen. And I say that because when you're watching this, you will see that way that this ends leaves you wondering, what did you just watch? Why did I just watch this? Because with this movie, I think you're going to have a lot of good, but you also have a lot of bad. Now let's get into the pros. I'm going to kind of quit rambling a little bit and let's get into the pros. The number one thing that stands out with this film is the cinematography. I think the visuals and the effects within this movie are excellent. No matter where you're looking, no matter what the scene is, whether it's the nature, whether it's the action with the infected, or even just the shots of a town, it is done very, very well. And I think that is what allows this movie to stand out. Number two is I think the overall acting within it allows the movie to flow and the story to somewhat make sense. I think when you have a young actor that is kind of taking over the lead role, that is a challenge, especially in a movie of this category. And I think he did an excellent job of taking on that role and really establishing who he is, who he's going to be, and really the emotions that are set forth within the specific scenes. Now let's get to the cons. I think the biggest con and the biggest takeaway really for me of this movie is knowing that there is a possible sequel. How much did they leave out? I think when you're looking at the father and different characters within the town that's isolated or the island, I think there could have been so much more done with those characters that allow you to see a story. We really don't even get a backstory of the mom and dad of who they are. You're kind of just thrust into this. This is what it is. This is where it's going to go. This is what it's going to be. And so as the movie kept going on, a part of me was wondering, how does this relate to any of the other films? I think with The Infected, I thought they were going to be there more. They were not there as much as I was hoping or thought. The action, I thought there was going to be a little bit more than that. I feel like even with this kind of movie and what the basis of it is, you expect that. And I feel like, in a sense, that was a letdown and kind of a disappointment. Now, for an overall rating, this is very difficult. As the movie was kind of ending, I was thinking to myself, where do I put this movie? And I think for me, 28 Years Later is a 3.6 out of 5. I think it is a movie that you should watch if you've watched the other two. I think if you are planning on seeing the sequel, if that is confirmed, you need to see the story, because ultimately there are going to be a lot of characters brought back. But I also think as the movie ends and the situation that is taking place, you kind of need to see that and understand why things are going the way it is. So for me, 28 Years Later is a 3.6 out of 5. It's not bad. It's just not what I hoped. And I had such high expectations for this movie, but it is still worth a watch. So make sure to go see it while it is out. If you go to a Regal, grab one of their limited edition posters they have. It's a small poster with a map on the back. Kind of cool. I grabbed a few, but go check it out now. 28 Years is in theaters. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews coming this weekend. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you all later.